So before starting, I would request you all to get registered yourself on Safejob portal to get the notification regarding the webinars and the activities related on your learning and development. So we are having different webinars at different languages at different time slot. You can get the details of all the webinars and activities on Safejob portal, Safejob page. Now, today's topic, as I told you, is skills needed to succeed in sales. So, first of all, sales is the important department. You cannot deny that because sales, with the help of sales, we get the know guidance sales only, because sales department is the department who is getting the leads, who is generating the business for the company. So that's from that point of view, the importance of sales is very high. So now to perform sales profile, there are some skill set. There are some skills which a salesperson or the sales team, they need to have all these skill set or all these skills which we will talk about in our this webinar. So if you have any questions regarding the webinar and the topic which we are having today, you can ask in our comment box. Okay, so first of all, um, as I told you, it is one of the important department and one of the important functions because we are getting business from sales team, sales and marketing team. So every new customer which is we are adding to the company is generating some business. So to perform in this department or to perform in sales, we need to have some skill set, or we need to develop that if you don't have. So first skill which I would like to share, that is product knowledge. A salesperson must have a good product knowledge, not just the product he is selling, but the entire product line of the company, right? So if the salesperson need to end of all the products belongs to the the company. So if customer is not interested for the particular product, in that case he can offer to the other products of the company also. End of the day, the customer is associating with the company. Maybe that direct sale is not coming to his bucket, but still customer will be happy that you have supported him. So that's why I'm saying you must have a product knowledge. And second thing regarding the product knowledge, if you are having complete product knowledge, so you can easily communicate that knowledge to the customer. Many times we have seen in sales, people, salesperson, they have very partial knowledge about the product. So when you have partial knowledge about the product, you cannot convince to the customer. Maybe because customer is somewhere, he is looking for some he's having some questions regarding the product, and you are not able to communicate the all the details of the product. In that case, customer will not purchase your product. So you must have a product knowledge, a complete product knowledge, so that you can convert that customer, or you can add that particular customer with the company, right? And if you have complete product knowledge, in that case, it gives a positive impact on the customer also, right? May or may not be he buy, but he will be very happy to see you having the all the knowledge about the product. Maybe not this time, but in coming future he will purchase the product from you. So that was one skill which I discussed. Then Second is fearless. Um, we know that sales is nothing but you need to communicate with lots of people. It's a people's business. You have to talk to a customer, or sometimes you have to talk a person who is not unknown to you. He's very unknown, right? So you should be fearless if you want to be joining a sales team. So this is one of the key skills which you need to work on, because we have seen most of the people, they are afraid of talking to a new person or a person who you don't know. So you need to be fearless, and if somebody says no in your first sentence, then again you just simply cut the phone, or you just simply don't further communicate with that particular customer, because somewhere you have you hesitate with that person, or somewhere you feel that because of customer may be irate, or customer maybe is not able to communicate with you. So in that case, it is always recommended that try to first make a listening with the customers. Try to directly don't talk about your product. First try to need of the understand the need of the customer, and accordingly develop the relationship with the customer. So that ways you always need to initiate talking with the customer. That was the second. Then next uh, skill, that is organized. If you want to grow in sales field, you always need to be very organized. I have seen a salesperson, a good salesperson who are having good record in sales. You will find that almost all the salesperson who are performing good, they are organized in a you know they are very much organized, whether it is related to their targets, weekly target, monthly target, or yearly target, or whether it is related to the customer data, or the quotations and everything. They have everything on their tip. They have to-do list, what to do now, and they have already planned throughout the day, and not just the day, but they have already scheduled the meeting with different customers in advance. The good salesperson, he always communicate with the customer and organize things accordingly. So this is one of the key skill which a salesperson make a good salesperson. Then next skill, that is accepting the rejection. Most of the salesperson or the sales member, they they accept the rejection. They need to accept the rejection because many times when customers say no, so we felt very disheartened, or we felt very bad, and we do not communicate further with that particular customer, and that is the problem. We need to accept the rejection, because if customer is saying no, so simply it means customer is saying no for today, right? Maybe in coming future that particular customer may purchase, or today he has rejected, but maybe he can refer to other relatives or the friends and anyone else. So that is one of the key skills. The salesperson need to accept the rejection, and he should be, whether customer is saying no or yes, you need to be cool. You need to accept both the cases. You should not felt very disheartened. Then next skill is your listening. Customer, a salesperson need to be good listeners. They need to understand the customer's need. They need to understand the customer's want, right? So that ways, salesperson can classify the customer's requirement. So, and that can be only done when there is a good listening power with if a salesperson is a good listener, because or after only listening to the customer, you can understand what is the requirement of the customer and what is the timeline for that requirement. Based on that, you can classify the customer's requirement into whether it is a need or the want. So that is one thing. And regarding listening, if you are paying attention to the customer, that is your add-on point to your personality. Customer feels that that particular salesperson is very much interested in my requirement. So most probably he will solve my requirement. If you are if customer feels that this salesperson is not giving here to me, so in that case maybe he simply reject, or he simply deny for your communication or your offers. Then next important skill is empathy. We all are human being, and as I told you, the sales is nothing but the you're dealing with the people, how you communicate with the people, and how you convince the people. So to understand the person's the customer, you need to be on his foot, or his or her foot. So that ways, if you are feeling that ways, you can surely convince the customer. If you if you can relate yourself with the customer need or the customer requirement, then you can understand how customer is going through that particular phase, and what kind of product or what kind of the services that particular customer is needed, right? So next is your follow up when customer is simply in first instance is denying your service. So what you can do is you can simply don't get discarded. Simply put that customer into follow up, and after a certain period of time ask that customer, and take the follow up with that particular customer, whether he is interested now or not. Maybe not directly, but indirectly you can communicate with the customer and take the follow up, right? Follow up, most of the cases we have seen where customer has rejected in first case. After a certain period of time, when you have already done some homework regarding the customer need and requirements, and you know that customer is somewhere he's interested, maybe any of the reason, maybe the budget, or maybe he's not the decision maker, or maybe any other issue, he's not purchasing the product right now, or he's not taking the services right now. So you can put that customer into follow up list, and after certain period of time, uh, contact to the customer again, and take the follow up and take the feedback, and accordingly you can plan your further communication with the customer. Then next need the skill is multitasking. uh, in sales, most of the good salesperson, they have these skills. You need to be a multitasker if you want to perform in sales, because you have lots of work at in a day. Everybody has 24 hours, but you have so many customers to meet. You have so many deadlines to meet, and you have you are occupied with other stuffs also. Like I told you, you have customers data, you have companies targets, you have your own targets. You have set the bar that these are the target, or these are the numbers I will catch this week, or I'll meet this week, or this month. So you are already occupied with lots of things. Now you need to be a multitasker when you need, if you want to perform in sales. So you need to follow up with the customer who has already rejected your product and service. You need to take a follow up. Parallelly, you are asking a new customer to purchase or take your services. So that goes and it is never ending process. So always a multitasker perform good when it comes to multitasking, or when it comes to convert a deal. Then next skill, that is resourcefulness. A salesperson, he or she uh, should be a resourceful person. We have our targets, we have some benchmark. So now how to get those targets, we need to be focused regarding that. So to get those numbers or to convert the business, we need to be resourceful. Sometimes we need to take the help of somebody else, or sometimes we need to, if customer is asking something which is beyond our profile. In that case, if you are a resourceful person and you can arrange to the customer, in that sense customer is yours, right? He will be happy and he will purchase your product or the service. Then next skill, that is ability to ask the right question. This is one of the key skill. You can say, if you are asking a correct question to the customer, in that customer is very much delighted, because somewhere customer is having some questions in his mind. Maybe he's not extrovert, or maybe he's not very open. So in that case, he is not asking you questions. So what you can do is, you can ask the questions to the customer, and then customer will reply, and accordingly you will pitch your sales, whatever the customer is requirement. So this is one of the key skills, if you are asking right question from the customer. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Okay, if you have questions, you can ask me in the comment box. Then next skill, that is client's budget. So if we are aware what is a customer's budget, in that case we can pitch the customer accordingly. Uh, this is very important. If we are not aware about it, and we are continuously doing follow-ups, we are communicating our product and services to the customer without knowing the customer's budget, so that is waste of time. I'll share one example. You have seen when you visit a car store, or when you visit a property dealer. So many times salesperson, they ask, "Sir, what is your budget? At what budget you want car, right? Or what is your budget for the flat if you are going to purchase a flat?" So in that case, where your product or service is associated with the high price tag, in that case always it is good to ask your customer what is the budget, right? So in that case you can decide whether that customer is able to purchase your product or not, because maybe customer is not aware about the price range of the product, and he is simply enjoying the product, but he don't know the price tag. So at the end of the meeting, it is the loss for both parties, for the customer and as well as for the salesperson, because that particular product or service is beyond the customer's budget. So it is always recommended, if you are dealing with high end product or the premium product which is associated with high price tag, in that case ask your customer what is your budget, right? And if you are sure that customer can purchase, then only you can start your sale pitch. Then you need to understand who is actually making the buying decision. Sometimes we have seen that the salesperson is not able to figure out whether that particular person will purchase the product, or on behalf of him or her somebody will else purchase the product, right? So in that case, again at the end of the meeting, the customer and the salesperson both are not able to close the deal, and it's a waste of time for both the parties. So always it is recommended that first judge who is going to take the decision, buying decision. Accordingly, you plan. Otherwise, what will happen? You will do a great sale pitch, right? You will do your homework and everything, and you will communicate and convince the person. But at the end of the day, or and at the end of the meeting, that particular person will say, "Sorry, I'll not take the decision. Somebody else on behalf of me will take the decision." So in that case, there is no point, because maybe that particular person is not able to convince to the decision maker. So it's always recommended to directly contact the decision maker, or the who is taking the buying decisions. If you have any questions regarding this webinar, you can ask me in chat box or in comment section. Okay, I don't think there is any question. So in the end, I hope you guys are liking our webinars. As I told you, we have a series of webinars, and at different time slot with different languages. You can check Safejob page. Also, I'll ask you to get yourself registered on Safejob portal. So at the end, keep learning, be productive. Thank you, everyone.